very much for joining me. It is Friday, June 6, 2025. They've had 28 earthquakes there by Stanley, Idaho, along the Snake River Plateau within the last 24 hours. Originally, the largest, they said, was a magnitude 4.2 that they revised to a magnitude 3.8. I came up with a magnitude 4.0. Currently got a live view of Old Faithful with all the crowds there. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, the earthquakes there are increasing. Let me show you. 21 earthquakes. What did I say? Something different? I don't know. Yeah. And here we can see the Snake River Plateau. This is along the Sawtooth Fault Zone where all these earthquakes have been happening. Fairly shallow. We got 4.8 miles in depth, 3.9, 3.1, 3.6. Here's the 3.9. I come up with a 4.0. And then shortly before it was a 3.4. Those are probably the two largest that they've had within the last 24 hours. 109 earthquakes within the last 7 days. And 214 within the last month. They're kind of scattered. This is close to the Trans-Challis Fault Zone, where we have extension going on, stretching of this location, and it goes all the way up towards Canada. Once again, the Trans-Challis Fault System. 10 people said they felt this earthquake. You can see here how the fault moved going towards the northwest. The blue area shows compression, where the P is the first wave of the earthquake, and the T is the tension. Here's the felt map, and once again, yeah, we got all the way down by Boise. One there, another, well, Garden City, another one from Garden City, and another one from Boise. Yeah, that's a lot for being such a long distance away, which was 144 kilometers, which would be about 89.5 miles. I've talked about how the lava comes up from the main source there at the Yellowstone hotspot, and it moves westward. And we got, yeah, tension that's being applied, pressure being applied, going in this location. Will we have a small eruption? Well, I don't know. I hope not. I hope it's just an indication of stretching for the United States. But the Sawtooth Fault Zone was formed as the hotspot moved going towards the northeast. I always, sometimes I say that the hotspot moved. Well, the hotspot didn't move. It's actually the crust of the earth that is moving northeast. But the Sawtooth Fault Zone was formed as, it moved through this location. Will we have another eruption somewhere, close to this area? Well, that's possible. Here's a map of the recent eruptions. This one here only happened about 2,000 years ago. Only 2,000 years ago. That's the craters of the moon. The hot spot where it's currently at, there at Yellowstone, was a lot further, going east. But we got magma that's going under here. So, yeah, I don't know. They're hoping with the next eruption that it'll be small, about the same size as Mount St. Helens. I believe 19 people died during that eruption. It had been all evacuated, supposedly, except for scientists. Can you imagine if there was an eruption with all the people that are currently visiting the different parks this summer? You can't outrun a pyroclastic flow. I mean, look at all these people here at Old Faithful. Yeah, they're throughout the park. It's windy, steep, curved roads. How would you get out? You wouldn't. You would be instantly vaporized if there was another major eruption. Looks like Old Faithful's trying to go off. And it looks a little dirty, doesn't it? Yeah, a little brown. When it's dirty like that, that's because the magma under the ground has been heating the rock, and it's melting the rock, and it comes up with the steam. I don't know if anyone's actually watching the camera to zoom in to get a better look. Yeah, maybe not, because it is Friday. But, yeah, the first thing that you would probably notice, if you have a chance to even notice, before you're vaporized, is the blood in your brain would boil. And, yeah, I don't think you would feel that, but that's the first thing that would happen. The blast zone, it's over several states. I've talked about that. It would change our weather for many years if we had another major eruption at Yellowstone. Even if it was along the Snake River Plateau and it was a small eruption, it would disrupt air travel. Airplanes, the ash, yes, highly corrosive, would damage the engines of the airplanes. And so they would be grounded or not allowed to fly over that area if there's another, small eruption. They don't talk about the smaller eruptions that have happened since the last major eruption. And there's been at least 40 of them. And they're at Pitchstone Plateau, which is, within the caldera. That area erupted about 70,000 years ago. So anyways, I wanted to update you about, the earthquake swarm that's currently going on still at Stanley, Idaho. Yeah. With the core of the earth heating up, with our magnetic field weakening, the rays from the sun, the radiation from the solar streams, they definitely have more of an effect upon the earth. Anyways, that's all I have for you right now. If you have any thoughts or comments or questions, please put it down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.